Too Casual Podcast, episode number 3. How you doing, Drake?
I am great. How are you, Andy?
Fine, I guess.
You're fine?
Yeah, get used to me saying that. That's my go-to.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you can't have great weeks every week. So my philosophy is to, just have fine weeks, I never have bad weeks.
I hope I don't question you every time.
Alex
That would be a shame.
used to just go fine every time. Yeah. Drake, what I've been doing this week,
What have you been doing, Andy?
I got back into Clash of Clans.
Did you?
Yeah. For some reason, I meme downloaded it. I tweeted like a week ago, I was like, when's Clash of Clans 2 coming out? And then after that, I downloaded it. And low-key, I've been playing it every day.
It used to be great.
It's still popular.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure it still is, but...
Yeah, I found a YouTube channel that gets like 1 million views a video off Clash of Clans.
Wow.
So it's still
yeah,
popping.
I mean, there's a market for it.
Join my clan.
Oh, okay.
Get on there. They
I
added
don't
like
think you want that.
I mean, we haven't done a clan battle. The clan that I was in from like high school, I haven't played this game since like junior, sophomore year of high school, maybe.
Right.
I was still in the same clan, and I left it. And then I got an invite to join back, and like in the chat when I left, someone went, "Andy left, no!" And I was like, "What?" And like I checked the log, and they haven't done a clan war in 1,000 days. There's 2 people active in the clan. You know both of them. I'm not gonna say their names on the podcast, but they were just like, yeah. And then I left and joined my brother's clan, and after that, anyways. But they added like a new section to the game. They added like a builder hall where you have like there's like a second island, and you have like a new town hall. It's like a whole completely different game, and it's way more like laid back and chill. And I've been really enjoying that.
Huh. I respect it.
And yeah, playing FIFA as well, as always. And then watching wise, since we're just like segue into that, weird week of watching. Normally I think I have 15 10 out of 10s on Letterboxd, and this week I watched 2 new movies that I gave 10 out of 10s.
Really?
So watching wise, I guess it's a good week. Yeah, I have 17 10 out of 10s out of 1,137. So I watched Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky and Playtime by Jacques Tati. Both those are foreign language films that are fantastic. Really recommend them. I think I might make a video, and saying this out loud on a podcast kind of forces me to. But I might make a video like what I watched this month and talk about things like that in more in depth. Then I watched My Best Friend's Birthday, First Cow, A Trip Through New York, which is a great watch. It's like 11-minute short on YouTube. It's a short film that was made in 1911. And then about 6 or 7 months ago, some guy re-rendered it in 4K and restored it in 4K with color. And I've seen it a couple times. It's fun to just put on. It's like a time capsule from the past, from 1911.
Nice.
I watched True Romance, Talladega Nights, and Natural Born Killers. And that's all I've been watching.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You watch way more than me.
Yeah, I watch way more than the average human.
It's fair.
What was I gonna ask? There's something. Have you done anything this week? Anything special?
The only thing that I have done, I watched Palm Springs, obviously. And I watched about an hour and a half of JRE with Post Malone, so that's about all I've been into, but
I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah, it came out the other day. It's very good. It's hilarious. They're both drunk and high, and
There was a Jerry
talk about
controversy this week that everyone was mad at him.
oh, why?
He said that gaming is a waste of time.
No, probably.
He was like, you can spend that time doing something else and turn it into a job. And everyone and their mom that was like a Twitch streamer and stuff, they're like, oh, you idiot, Joe.
Yeah.
Little do you know. Gosh. I think it's stupid. It was some offhanded comment that he made. Like,
Right.
if you record
Took it out of
hours and hours of
context.
yourself If you record hours and hours and hours and hours of yourself, you're gonna say something stupid.
Yeah.
So, and for the watching thing, I watch 7.4 movies a week apparently, according to Letterboxd.
Wow.
My mom, I ate with her, and we're talking about pizza for some reason. And I was like, my favorite pizza place is Italian Village. And she said on my 7th birthday, we ate Italian Village, and she hated it. But
So
I don't
you
remember
have
that.
been
I don't remember that at all. But apparently we had Italian Village when I watched Scooby-Doo 2 at the movie theater for my birthday party. And I like it. So apparently I have had it before. Remember.
Yep, you lied to me. That's okay, but I forgive you.
Yeah. So this week
that's all I had. I was just filling words.
All right, this week we watched Palm Springs. Let's get into the discussion. The film club discussion came out in 2020, directed by Max Barbacow. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's
Barbecue.
His second movie, feature-length movie he's made. He's made a couple of shorts. His first movie was called Mommy, I'm a Bastard, which came out in 2013. It's a documentary about himself being adopted, and it had 0 watches on Letterboxd. So I'm gonna count Palm Springs as his first movie because that one had no views.
I agree.
It stars Andy Samberg, Christine Milioti, J.K. Simmons, and yeah, it's a story. Everybody's seen it before. They're at Palm Springs at a wedding. Oh no, we're in a time loop. Every time I die or fall asleep, I wake up in the same day. What's going to happen? Yeah. Drake, what is your initial thoughts on the movie?
The beginning was super slow. So slow, in fact, that Jenny left. Like, she went in the other room.
Did she not finish it?
No, she didn't. She went in the other room. Luckily, though, I stayed through because the second half was actually very worth watching. I thought it was just a fun take on Groundhog Day. I mean, everybody's seen that kind of thing, and I'd say everybody, but...
Yeah, I have a lot of notes.
Yeah, that's good. But Groundhog Day is a movie that I've seen that I can compare it to. And it's just a comedic take on it. Or more comedic take, I'm sorry.
Well, Groundhog Day is a comedy.
That's why I said more comedic after my...
Yeah.
That. It's just... Andy Samberg's a different person than Bill Murray is. I think it's hilarious. It's pretty good. That's all I got.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies like this, like Groundhog Day, as you mentioned, by Bill Murray. Russian Doll was a TV show that came out last year starring Natasha Lyonne. It's really good. It's on Netflix. Happy Death Day is a horror movie that has the same concept where there's a slasher antagonist that kills her every single day. And then my favorite in this genre of time loops, definitely a guilty pleasure because I've seen this movie like 6 or 7 times. It's called Premature, and every time he busts a nut, the day restarts. And by that description, you can tell how the movie goes. But for some reason, I really like that movie, even though I'm fully aware it's awful. But I've seen it like 100 times. The actors, like Andy Samberg, he's from SNL, Lonely Island. The female lead, Kristen Milioti, I knew her from How I Met Your Mother, and she was on this Black Mirror episode called USS Callister, which is one of the better, I say better as if the show is bad. It's one of the best high tier Black Mirror episodes. It's weird. The show overall is great. It's making it sound like the rest of the show is bad. And she was also Jordan Belfort's first wife in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Wow.
And then other actors of note, J.K. Simmons. He was from Oz, Whiplash. Everybody knows J.K. Simmons. He plays the same character every single time. He played the publisher in Spider-Man. Yeah, great guy. And then the husband, or the groom in this movie, he also is in a movie called Everybody Wants Some, which is a a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. So that's something of note. Something that you'd probably enjoy is Everybody Wants Some.
Yeah, we talked about that one time, and as you know about my movie viewing, it went well.
Yeah, you didn't watch it?
Nope, not yet.
I'm gonna go into spoilers, I guess. This is your spoiler warning.
Okay.
If you want to skip, there's gonna be timestamps in the... Drake's leaving. There's gonna be timestamps in the description. If you're on iTunes, sorry. Because apparently there's not enough space to do this. But timestamp description, you want to skip spoilers for on iTunes, just skip ahead a couple minutes. Shouldn't last long. So a lot of things people talk about with this movie is obviously the time loop. And this is my second time watching this movie, so I'm looking at it more critically and more less into the story, I guess, because I know what happens. I think this movie is a generic rom-com movie. Everybody's seen this movie before. Everything that happens in a normal generic rom-com, where like the third act starts, they split up, and then by the end of the movie they realize that they love each other, which is like a super generic romance thing. I want to reference this movie. It happened one night. It's a movie from the 30s, 1934. 1934, directed by Frank Capra. See, this movie, I don't know, I give it excuse. It has like the same like romance like flow, the same like how the love story goes. But I really love it in this movie. But in Palm Springs, I didn't really like it as much the second time watching it. Just like realizing that it's just like a generic romance story set inside a time loop comedy, which I guess is kind of Groundhog Day. So they just remade Groundhog Day and modernized it, I guess. And then they added the there's like a second character stuck in this time loop with him. But I mean, that's been done before. Russian Doll did that. Semi-spoiler. Happy Death Day 2 did that. Introducing other characters into this time loop. I swear to God, Cat, you turn off my computer. But there's like a thing in this movie that I kind of have a gripe with, and it's like a plot hole in my opinion. And that is, so they're sharing this time loop, and in like Russian Doll, alright, whenever, in Russian Doll, they die and the day restarts. But they're like a shared universe, like the two people that are stuck in it together, whenever they both die at the exact same time and restart the day. But in this one, there's three people stuck in the time loop. They all die or fall asleep and restart the days at different times. But they all end up in the next day together. So like, if you think like it doesn't make any sense how like this person can return to the future next day. How are they all together in the same timeline, twined together whenever? It doesn't make any sense. And then also in this movie, there's dinosaurs. I wish they leaned more into that and got more weird with it instead of like more like generic rom-com. I mean, obviously like the time loop thing is probably something only I'm going to complain about. And it's like hard to explain because it's talking about time, and time's like how do you explain time?
Right.
There's so many like different dimensions. Like maybe if they restart, there's like multiple Krista Milotti like universes. Like she's in her own dimension. Like they were together in the very first one, and then like when she died for like in a universe, she split off into a different one. There's like a million different Andy Sambergs and Kristen Milottis. But that kind of annoyed me, and I wish it leaned more into like the dinosaurs and like the weird stuff, because obviously it's like a weird thing where like there's a opening in a rock and they go into it and they enter time loop and there's dinosaurs in the background. And another thing that I had to point out was, why didn't they figured out how to get out of the time loop, at least they theorized that they did. Why didn't they try to like go to Vegas and win like a buttload of money before leaving? Right. Like set their future up instead of just like trying to get out. Like, I mean, I guess she becomes like a super genius scientist, like mastermind by the end of it. Like she's like super into physics and stuff and learns everything. So I guess she can get a high paying job that way. But what if she just, they went to Vegas and like learned the roulette like wheel, like the pattern it goes, and just like bet all of it.
Right.
Yeah. A complaint I see a lot on Letterboxd is that Roy is stuck in this unit. Like, they get out and Roy is stuck, but I don't share that complaint. Roy as a character, I think, is weird because he is an antagonist, and it's like most of these type of movies don't have an antagonist. Happy Death Day does, obviously, because she's getting killed by this baby mask person constantly. And then, like, I feel like they wanted the antagonist to be there to, like, change it up in the Groundhog Day to differentiate it from it. But I feel like they, like, realized a mistake that if there was an antagonist constantly trying to kill Andy Samberg, they're like, oh, how do we get out of this so they actually can fall in love? And they're like, oh, he lives in Irvine. He lives far away, so he has to make a trip. I kind of was like, it's kind of cheap. Which Irvine to Palm Springs is a 2.5 hour drive according to Google. So I feel like, but also, later in the movie, Roy is content, or he doesn't show up and kill him a lot. And it kind of like establishes that Roy is content in this world that he's with. Like, obviously he's sad he won't see his children grow up, but he's kind of appreciative that he's going to be like stuck in this world where he has a wife and kids, his kids constantly watering the dog shit. But there's also like the after credits or the mid credit scene where Roy finds out that they got out of the time loop, and there's also she calls him and gives him a voicemail, and I assume she told him how to get out. So if he wants to get out, he can. Yeah. That's about it, I think. I mean, this is being a rom-com, like, speaking of this, I mean, rom-coms are a guilty pleasure genre of mine. Like 10 Things I Hate About You and American Pie. I just didn't think it worked well on this. On a rewatch, the first time I watched it, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Second time I watched it, I didn't like it as much. It definitely worse on rewatch. It may be because I watched it so close to the first one. But yeah. It's alright. If you enjoy these type of movies, I feel like you'll enjoy this one. And I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I talked a lot.
That's good, because I wouldn't have. I didn't. I actually had a chance to, and I didn't, so.
Do you have any opinions about my opinions on this movie?
I think you're 100% correct. I gave it a 7 personally, which is pretty on par for me and you. If you gave something a 6, I probably would have given it a 10, but I guess that's an exception.
Trust me, it's eventually gonna happen where I'm gonna pick my snobby film like nerd
and I'm gonna hate it,
and you're gonna hate it, and I'm gonna give it a 10, and you're gonna give it like a 3. That happened with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas on DCD, which isn't like a film snobby movie, but he gave it a 3 and I give it a 10. Or like the better example for that would be like The Killing of a Sacred Deer, or I can't think of anything else on my top of my head.
Yeah. No, yeah. I immediately thought of the hole in the plot that you talked about, where like they all end up at the same time.
Yeah.
That confused me, but I just tried to get past that as soon as I saw it.
I mean, the first time I watched it, I never really thought about it. It was more of a second time watching a thing. And it's kind of like, it's something that like, I feel like most people won't think about. Like, most people that are watching this movie are going to turn their brain off and not think about it at all.
Right. And I think they kept it open for a second one. The fact that they know where the cave is, and the guy can still get out and all that, I think that they could make a second one. I don't know if they will.
I doubt that. I don't think so.
Yeah. But it's still decent for what it is. And
I forgot a note with this movie that I was going to bring up. It also has the like romantic trope where they're like, oh, we can't sleep together. It'll make things complicated. And then they sleep together and everything gets complicated. The great trope.
That's how it works.
With Andy Samberg, I think it's more of a cynical thing that I'm hating on that, because it's, I guess. I forgot to also say that Andy Samberg, I couldn't really take him very serious in this movie during like the serious love parts or like him being depressed. Because that's not really his style of acting. Like, he's a great actor in comedy stuff, and like he has great SNL. Back when SNL was actually decent, and like Lonely Island stuff is fun. But But yeah, couldn't take him serious. Yeah, that's Palm Springs for you.
Palm Springs.
Next week, we have a guest on the episode. Hopefully, a little nervous announcing a movie for next week, anticipating a guest, and then magically like they don't show up. But I think we're getting the clear. There's like a 99% chance he shows up. But next week we're having Bengal or Bengal Designs. I'm gonna call him. He's probably gonna hate that, but Bengal, everyone's favorite Madden rebuilder. He's going to be on the podcast, and the movie that he selected for us to talk about is Reservoir Dogs, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Have you ever heard of this movie or seen it, Drake?
I've seen it several times, so this is good.
Oh, I think everybody... I didn't think you've seen it, but yeah, I've seen it as well, obviously.
Yep. I watched it with my parents not that long ago.
I feel like we talked about it, I just forgot.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not that you forget things, just that it probably happened. Yeah, I've seen it, so that's good. I'm glad.
I saw a thing on Reddit that I want to talk about if this link will load. I just thought it was so funny. It's rendering. All right. So I saw this thing on Reddit when I was browsing. It's from 3 months ago, but I thought it was so funny that I wanted to bring it up to you. So this is going to be a long read, probably like 1,000 words, but the title of it is TIFU, which I don't remember. Today I fucked up by demanding that my girlfriend show me where she buried our beans in the woods, causing her to break up with me. That's the title.
Oh no.
So, with all that's going on, we had stocked up on supplies, including some canned foods. I ordered a few weeks ago about 30 cans of beans. 10 are black beans, 10 are kidney beans, 10 are pink beans. Also, I ordered 15 cans of chickpeas. I thought this was a reasonable amount of beans and chickpeas to have every now and then and would last for quite some time. However, earlier this week, I opened the cabinet because I wanted to make some vegetarian chili using 2 cans of beans, but all the beans were gone. What the hell? I asked my girlfriend, and she told me she buried all the beans in the woods. At first, I thought she was joking, but she explained no. She had buried the beans in the woods. What the F? I asked her to explain, and she told me she's afraid that if things get bad, we might have to worry about looters or whatever, and that the beans would be in danger of being stolen. I said I thought this was completely ridiculous and unlikely. She became angry at me and she said she is protecting our beans. According to her logic, the beans are safely buried in the woods behind our apartment complex, and if we ever need some beans, she will go to the stash, dig up a can or two, but would prefer if we save them all for if things got worse. I said, why only bury the beans? Why not bury more valuable items? She said the canned beans was the most valuable for long-term means, and that since we get fresh food in our online grocery deliveries, it would make sense to continue to stockpile beans. She intends to go bury more beans in the woods every week. This was so insane for me. This was too insane for me. I got very upset. I demanded to know where the beans were buried, and she refused to tell me. She said if I knew, she was afraid I'd dig them up. I said, damn right I would. She said, I will never jeopardize the beans. The following day, I tried to put my foot down, and I'm not usually a foot downer, but there was a rare issue where compromise is out of the question, and I foolishly decided this was one of those issues. I demanded to know where the beans were buried. I told her if she was going to bury the beans I paid for in the woods, that would have moved out. We fought about it, and I kept insisting. In hindsight, I should have just let it go and created my own hidden stash of beans in the apartment and given her time to maybe cool down about the beans burying scenario. But I blew it out all out of proportion. Yeah, it was weird to bury beans in the woods, but why did I have to press it? What's the harm at the end of the day? In the grand scheme of things, but I kept demanding her to take me to the beans or at least draw a map or something, and finally she broke up with me over the beans. I have lost the love of my life because I couldn't let the damn beans go. I am in disbelief. She moved out. Not only am I heartbroken, but I'm now paying full rent instead of the 50%, which is a huge financial issue for me. Yeah, that's it. I thought that was hilarious when I was reading it.
I mean, yeah, I'm on board with that guy, but he definitely should let it go.
It's really funny to me. I don't know why. It's funnier that it's beans than any other food.
Right. It could have been anything, but he got a whole bunch of beans because he.
And she went and buried the beans.
So the problem was when he decided to get the beans.
Was that the problem?
I think so. He decided to get however many cans of meat. That obviously
30 cans
sparked her
of beans?
idea. Right. That's way. I would never do that. You have to carry them. That'd be a whole ordeal.
I feel like, you know, you're just like, he was thinking like smart. He's just like, I'm gonna have all these beans, just in case. But she's like, no, we gotta bury the beans because if looters come, the first thing they're gonna come for is our beans.
Right. Because they don't have other food that's probably still fresh.
Out of all preserved food, also, like not even like MREs or whatever.
Yeah.
Beans.
Or like raviolis. Something actually tasty.
I mean, they had a lot of beans on Brokeback Mountain.
That's one of my movies on Letterboxd that I gave a 10 out of 10.
I did not enjoy it. Have you actually seen it?
No, I haven't. It's memed. I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no. I was talking about that with Alex. I was like, it's like the most memed movie, I feel like, in our age group. Or at least it might be just like our school thing. But Brokeback Mountain was so heavily memed that I feel like it ruined the movie. But also, I thought it was pretty boring.
I don't care to watch it. I think it's hilarious. The jokes around it and the premise is hilarious. So
Alex
gave it a 10 out of 10.
Then I gave it a 5 out of 10. He was like actually butthurt.
Give it what it deserves.
Because he was like, you pick dumb movies like The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and you're like, oh, they're fantastic, give them 10 out of 10s. But whenever I pick a good movie, you hate on it. I don't know. Dude, beans easily top 5 funniest foods.
Beans, yeah. It's mostly their shape.
No, just like I don't know what's so funny about. I don't even like beans. I just think they're so funny.
Yeah, like when we were young, they made you fart. Supposedly.
I don't like them.
Everybody, well, I mean, nobody ate them, but everybody was like, beans make you fart. When we were like, however many years old.
Where beans make you toot. I forgot the song. The whole like riddle.
Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. It just.
Do you eat beans often?
I wouldn't say often. I would say that I eat beans in things, like in burritos and stuff.
That's the only time I ever eat beans is when I go to Taco Bell. That's literally the only time. It's not like I go and seek beans, but the 5-layer burrito, 5-layer bean burrito, easily
very good.
The best thing at Taco Bell.
Yeah, like Qdoba and Chipotle, I always get black beans in my burrito. Like I love the way it tastes. So,
they have a nude burrito at Taco Bell. 2 fat boys talking about Taco Bell.
Ooh, the grilled cheese one.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
I give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's very good.
I got it and came in like the tin foil. I was like, what is this? And it was like super hot. I was like tripped out because normally you get Taco Bell and it's like lukewarm, kind of. But it was like super hot and it's very good. If you want to be a fat boy like us, go get the grilled chicken. What is it called? Grilled cheese burrito?
Grilled cheese burrito. Yep.
It has like Fritos in it or something like that.
Yeah, they literally just put cheese on the outside of it, but it's awesome.
It's great. They it's like slathered with cheese.
Yep.
Which doesn't like sell. I feel like that saying that out loud doesn't sell it.
Slathered.
It's like just you get a burrito completely covered in cheese. That's
But
what it
not
sounds like.
runny cheese.
Yeah. It's like
Shredded cheese. They put it on the grill and then put the
Yeah.
burrito on top of it, and it cooks onto it. It's just really good. It's not messy if you're worried about that.
it's greasy.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah. I don't know. Beans are funny. Do you have any
Yeah, shout out beans.
Do you have anything weird that you saw this week, or just working and stuff?
Anything weird that I saw this week? No, I don't guess. Today's my first day off, so.
Yeah. Anything?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I ran out of topics. I forgot.
Oh,
That was the only topic I prepared, was the beans one and the film club one.
that's good. That's not bad. I mean, we just gotta think of something.
Yeah. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is bad.
That's okay. We can, you can.
So, I mean,
Cut this out.
no, I'm gonna leave it in.
I think it'd be funny. Just like us naturally like, what are we talking about?
Basketball is back.
Basketball is, but hey, yesterday, I was at Dylan's house. I'm sorry, I said a name. Oh well. I was at Dylan's house. Yeah, I know.
I've never asked him, but he's one of the names that I think shouldn't, or I guess whitelisted is the name, as in you can mention them. I don't think at the top of my head the difference between whitelist and blacklisting, but
yeah, me either. Okay, so yesterday I was at his house and I was helping him load a U-Haul because he's going to Lexington, and we started to watch the game, but it was supposed to start at like 5:30, and like 6 o'clock they finally got it going. So that was interesting. I thought the names on the back of their jerseys were cool.
yeah,
They were like all the same thing, but
they're not all the same. They're like limited to like 4 or 5. I think you have to get league approval if you want to do something else.
yeah, that's what I assumed because
I didn't watch basketball last night.
I didn't watch it either because it took too long to start and we got going on the moving. So, but yeah, basketball's back.
I watched a video yesterday of a guy. His name is Brian. I can't think of the rest of his name. Bryant Gilbert something. Brian something Gilbert. Brian David Gilbert. That's his name. He has a show called Unraveled on Polygon's YouTube channel, and he read every single Halo book. He was like, he makes a video where he like delves into lore with like video games, and he was like,
Right.
instead of playing the games, he's like, I've never played a Halo game. I got to prepare everyone for Halo Infinite. So instead of playing any of the games, he read all the books. There's like 28, 30 books or something like that.
Okay.
And it's a really good video that I highly suggest. He like loses his mind. It took him a year, one whole year. It took him July 30th, 2019 is when he started it. The video came out yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess, for the fans that are listening. If you're watching this or listening to this day, it comes out. But it's like, it's a really good video. Highly suggest that.
Nice.
In that whole series.
Cool. Heck yeah.
I've found a lot of new music this week that I enjoyed. Some guy tweeted and he was like, I think it was Call Me Carson tweeted, maybe at somebody. It was like, link your chill Spotify playlists. And I clicked on the very first one and listened for a second, and I found like a bunch of songs that I really enjoyed, which is weird.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What were they? Like, what kind of music?
I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like super laid back. I guess like indie, I guess is just a way to describe it. Let's see what Spotify describes the artist as, or one of the artists as. I want to classify them as rock, but it's definitely like closer to rock than anything else.
Right.
It says
Probably
indie
like
pop.
Indie rock. Indie pop. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Finding new music has to be like one of the most satisfying things ever.
Yeah.
Because you have all the oldies, but
yeah, I've also been
that you
vibing
just jam to.
Frank Sinatra this week a lot. Not like
it.
a newly discovered thing, obviously. If I just now discovered Frank Sinatra in the year of our Lord 2020, I feel like that would have been cool. I've been like, holy crap, Frank Sinatra, this huge guy back in the day.
Right.
But yeah, new music's cool. Like I found MF Doom earlier this year, I think late last year. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time now.
Nice.
Just delving into his works. I saw you were listening to a country playlist called like Whiskey Bent or something like that.
Yeah, I wanted to make one.
Is that your playlist?
Yeah, I made it.
I saw, if I listen to Spotify on my computer up there, there's like a thing in the top right hand corner where like everybody following Spotify, it like tells me if they're listening to music right now. There's like every single person, it's like you and then listen to this song 2 hours ago. And I was going to text you while you're listening to that and be like, so you're listening to country, huh?
I'd be like, whoa.
But I was going to like, that'd be weird if I did that.
Yeah, I made a playlist.
Drake is distracted by Jenny, apparently.
So, I made a playlist and it's called Whiskey Bent, and I literally just wanted to put like songs on there that like mostly country, folklore, stuff like that I listen to all the time.
Yeah.
And put good stuff on there. So that's what I came up with. A lot of Tyler Childers, Cody Jinks, stuff like that.
Is that your style of music?
Yeah, that's my
I know
preferred.
that. I'm saying it for the fans.
Yeah, I listen to everything, but if I had to like pick one, hunker down, listen to it for the rest of my life, I would definitely go, I wouldn't say country, but I would say more like bluegrass, folklore, stuff like that. Just a little different country.
I don't know how to answer that question because I'm really into rap, but I don't listen to rap that often. Like rap's,
Yeah.
I've been like listening to rap since the 3rd grade. It's I guess the most nostalgic music. It's like because that's why I like grew up listening to.
Right.
Like listening to like the Carter, like the Carter 3 on the bus or the Carter 2 on the bus. But I feel like I don't know. It's hard to describe the playlist I listen to. It's called 47 Chromos. I'll put our Spotify links in the description if you don't mind that. If anyone wants to listen to our playlist.
That's cool.
But I don't know how to describe the music in that. It's basically just everything that isn't country or rap or EDM. Because I don't like EDM. It's the only genre of music I would say I dislike.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Too fond of it.
But yeah, 47 Chromos. It's just like a weird. It's like I guess indie pop rock. I guess is the best way to describe
Pop
it.
rocks.
It's independent pop rocks. It's not the mainstream. Not the it doesn't.
So it's off-brand
it doesn't
pop rocks.
pop in your mouth. It just like kind of fizzles.
Yeah.
That's a joke from It's not a joke, but that's a reference to Bon Appetit, which is a YouTube channel where they cook things, and I really enjoy their channel for some reason. They have a series made by Claire where she tries to. It's called Gourmet Makes, where she tries to make gourmet homemade versions of like candies and stuff. And for pop rocks, she had to get like this like huge like pressure machine to make them pop.
Mm-hmm.
But the building they work in, this huge like test kitchen, Bon Appetit test kitchen, is inside the World Trade Center, and the thing that they would need to make the pressure could be used as a bomb. So they couldn't use that.
Yeah, it's like a no-go.
So I think they use like baking soda and something else to make it like fizzle or like foam in your mouth.
Yeah.
Instead.
Some off-brand pop rocks.
So it's very off-brand pop rocks. But great. It's a great channel to delve into. Bon Appetit. It will inspire you to cook, but if you're anything like me, you're too lazy to cook. Like, it's something I really want to do. There's like a couple things like that. Like, I want to learn how to play the piano, But one, I don't have a piano, and two, I'm too lazy to, or like getting into cooking. I don't have the ingredients or anything like on hand.
Yeah.
And I'm too lazy to go get them and actually
It's
like
just
cook.
the whole thing. Yeah. And dishes suck.
I don't mind them that much.
Yeah. Well, it's not bad, but it sucks.
If you keep it maintained, it's not bad.
Correct. Yeah. And I'm about the worst person at that. So
My dishes are kind of bad right now, to be honest. But
that's how it happens.
dude, oh, I completely forgot. This is something noteworthy of this week. I had the trippiest like thing ever happen to me the other day. So
Okay.
I was at my grandma's house because her dog's having surgery. So I was like, he's having a leg surgery. So if I come and visit, he's going to mess up his leg that just had surgery. So I can't visit for a while. So I was like, we're going to eat. I usually eat with my grandma like once a week because I'm a good boy. But, so I was like, visiting her before the surgery. So, cause I can't visit her for a while. Anyways, after I got done, I was leaving. The second I stepped off the porch where like it has like the overtop thing, I can't think of what it's called. Like it's a patio, but it has like the over the top like cover.
Right.
I don't know if it's called, like a patio with a roof.
I mean, it's similar to an awning, but it's not an awning.
I don't know how to describe it. I'm not a construction person
Yeah.
But the second I stepped off of that into like the grass, it started raining. The second I stepped off, it started raining on me.
Oh.
All right. So then I walked from her backyard. I have to walk like around the house to my car. The second I get to my car door, it stops raining. And then I get in my car. I drive home. Once I get out of my car, it starts raining again. It was the trippiest thing ever.
I mean, that's literally the most perfect timing that could ever happen.
And then I get in my house, all right? I go and lay down. I'm about to watch a movie or something. And the rain started seeping through my sliding glass door and like spraying onto my bed. And I was just like, what is up with the weather? Is God himself trying to like smite me for doing something? Like, I don't know what I did. What did I do? But I mean, it was like super trippy and weird.
Gosh.
And it sounds like out of context. Like it sounds like I'm like stupid or like I'm on drugs to where like the roof thing. Cause like if you think about like when I tweeted it out, but then I eventually deleted it. Cause that's my thing. I delete tweets after like a while.
Yeah.
I don't know why to describe I do that, but I just been doing it.
I gotta go. Hold on.
But out of context, it sounds like I'm stupid where like I don't understand how rain works. Where like the roof is gone, obviously, if it's raining outside, when the roof's gone, I step out, it's going to rain on me. And then once I get into my car, it's going to stop raining. And the second I get out of my car, it's going to start raining. Like, I guess that it's so like stupid, like one-minded, like a dog mentality or like a kid's mentality where it's like, oh, if you're inside, it's no longer raining. So like saying the story makes it sound like I'm stupid, but, I don't know. It's really a trippy experience, and I'm here by myself without Drake. Welcome to the Andy podcast, the first episode. Today we're gonna be talking about astrology. I'm an Aries. Yeah, I don't know what that means though. So, tell me your signs below, and I won't care, and I won't bother looking them up because astrology is stupid in my opinion. Bold take, by the way, bold take. All the women listeners, and I'm gonna get canceled for calling out women specifically in this, but it seems to me that most women enjoy astrology more than men, and it's me being a generalist, misogynist pig apparently. But I think astrology is stupid. How can the stars, change your mood? Like, it's such like, I don't know how to explain it. It's such like forcing you to believe these things instead of actually you for a reason. And Drake's back. Episode 1 of the Andy podcast is over. How you doing, Drake?
I gotta go I'll be back in a little bit.
Hey, hello, Drake.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. A lot has happened since I've been gone.
Sure.
Well, for me at least.
Yeah, Drake. We forgot to do. I don't know how much I'll keep of me talking to myself. I didn't go a full hour. I think I talked to myself for like 6 minutes and then I stopped.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I'll keep that. I probably won't. I'll probably edit this in and then cut that out. But Drake, who is the hawg of the week?
Well, this is actually, I love this guy. I was going to pick him eventually anyway, but since the NFL Top 100 did it anyways, I figured it was very fitting to pick the top offensive lineman according to the NFL Top 100 list, which is Quentin Nelson. He's ranked 29th, so showing no love to the Hogs.
Yeah.
But we are showing love to Quentin Nelson because he is a monster. And he's the highest rated, so.
According to other NFL players.
Yep. I think there was like 9 offensive linemen in the top 100, so no love.
Yeah, there's 22 positions and 9 out of 100. No love. I feel like
but like
pretty
every
decent
quarterback's
ratio.
on there. No, but
I mean, I guess since there's 5 offensive linemen, 5 out of 22, and them being 9 out of 100. I don't know the math in that.
me either. It's probably exactly average.
You would think, I don't know.
Who knows?
There should be a more, I guess. The dawg of the week is
Dawg
Regis
of the
Philbin. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He passed away this week. Old
I
Regis.
saw that.
I thought of a different dog of the week, but I don't know. I had that one written down.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably good.
Yeah, I need...
Nobody said they had to be alive.
I mean, yeah, I could just pick dead people every time.
Yeah, we didn't make that rule.
There is no rule.
Correct.
This entire podcast has no rules.
It's casual.
I mean, I guess there's a structure, but there's no rule.
Correct.
Because, I mean, rules are meant to be broken, you know?
I hate rules. In fact, I go opposite of them.
Yeah. Drake drives on the wrong side of the road, actually.
Yeah, I just don't care. I'm wild.
Yeah, Drake's wild. He drinks his food and eats his water.
I eat my water with a spoon, a fork.
You still drinking a gallon of water a day?
Pretty close to it. I don't like purposely go for a gallon of water, but I generally get pretty close just off of drinking water all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have prepared something else to talk about. But in the period that you were gone, but I didn't.
No.
So
I mean, we could talk about what I did, but I really don't want to bore y'all with like me at Walgreens trying to find mouth relief things. So
yeah,
that's why I was gone.
Did you hear
I did
about-
get brown Listerine though, and anybody ever use brown Listerine?
it tastes like poop.
It's like it calls out every bacteria in your mouth and fights it one-on-one.
Yeah.
It's mean. It's
I
like 30% alcohol or something.
Smart Mouth.
Smart mouth.
Yeah.
Nice. What were you saying?
Did you see the Nintendo Giga leak?
I did not.
A bunch of stuff was leaked at Nintendo. A bunch of like old stuff, like a bunch of old archives from like the old games came out, and they discovered like Luigi was supposed to be in Mario 64, and like they found like a new Donkey Kong game that was never released on the SNES, and a whole bunch of stuff. there's like original, like the uncompressed versions of audio clips, like a whole bunch of just random stuff, like nothing like leaked that was like massive or anything. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, like company emails and stuff got leaked too, which sucks. But there's like a bunch of like weird like SNES era stuff that was leaked.
Right.
Like concept art and stuff, which is, I don't know, it was cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool, but it's interesting what could have been.
I don't know. What is the earliest game, like, or not, like, how do I say this? Not physically, like, you playing the oldest, but, like, what's the oldest game you've played that makes any sense?
Yeah, I don't know off. I'm trying to think. I had a Game Boy whenever I was in second grade, but I also had a PlayStation 2. So I played Mario Kart on my Game Boy, but I also remember on my PlayStation 2, we would rent games from, I think it was Netflix.
Yeah.
And, or Gamefly. Anyway, we would rent games, and I remember playing the Mercenaries game. You remember that?
I played the second one. I played the demo for the second one on the 360.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was I remember that's like all I would play was Mercenaries, and like whenever you rented it, you got it for 2 weeks, but I think I kept it for like probably half a year.
Yeah.
My dad just like kept paying the $2 or whatever it was to keep it.
What's the first game you ever beat?
There was a game called Operation Desert Storm.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation 2, and I used to play it split screen with my my aunt's husband, so my uncle by marriage, and we split screened it, and I played this guy named Foley. He was like a sniper.
Yeah.
And
Mick.
Yep, Mick. And no, that
Mick
took me
Foley.
a second. And yeah, I beat that game by myself, but I also beat it with him.
Yeah.
I love that game. Operation Desert Storm, I think is what it was called.
I don't know if that's cooler than mine. Mine was Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue for the N64.
Oh yeah.
And apparently that game sucks. I haven't played it as an adult, but there's a channel called Angry Video Game Nerd.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I mean, love him or hate him, he makes like in-depth reviews of like old video games, and that's what he's good at. But he talks about movies, and I don't necessarily agree with his movie takes.
Yeah.
But he has a video on it, and he's like, yeah, this game sucks. And I'm like, dang, that's the first game I ever beat. My earliest video game memory, though, was like playing like Super Mario World on the SNES and Tecmo Bowl. So even though we're the same age, I'm like a grandpa in the video game landscape compared to you.
I remember one time for Father's Day, I got my dad doesn't play video games. Just a little heads up. I decided for Father's Day when I was like probably 8 or 9, I was going to get him an American Orange County Choppers. You remember those people?
A TV show?
Yep.
Yeah.
They had a video game where you just rode around on motorcycles and like raced and stuff. So I decided for Father's Day I was going to get him that.
Did you?
And that's what I think my aunt bought it, and I was like, yeah, this is for my dad for Father's Day. And I gave it to him, and he was like, yeah, I don't play video games. This was for you, wasn't it? And I was like, yep. So, long story short, that Father's Day I didn't get him anything, but
I didn't give my father anything. So
pause.
That's an inside joke. Not really a joke, but you know, if you got it, you got
Inside
it.
story.
What was it? Oh, I have like this like super like I ruined video games for my grandpa.
Okay.
And so he used to play NASCAR on the PS2. NASCAR like 04, 5, 6. I don't know the year. But he used to play it and he was super into it, like way more into it than anybody. He would do like races and do the actual lap amount. So he would do like I'm not big into NASCAR. You are. Fortunately, you're here. So he'd do like the Indy 500 or whatever. Isn't that mean there's 500 laps or is it 500? Like, I don't know how this works.
I think it's miles.
500 miles. But he would do like the actual laps and spend like hours and hours. And one day, like 5 or 6-year-old me, I deleted his save on the memory card.
Oh, no.
And he was years into this, doing every single race legit. And he like won like the grand title like several years in a row. And he never played video games ever since he found out that I accidentally deleted his save. He literally never played video games ever again.
Gosh. So you actually ruined it.
I literally ruined video games for my grandpa.
Yeah, it's because it's 500 miles.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess that's like how long is that race? Like 3 or 4 or 5 hours?
It's like 200 laps and it's a 2.5 mile track. So yeah,
the crazy race to me is the
Bristol.
No,
what's really short one?
No, not even NASCAR.
Oh,
the what's it called? Gosh, it's really showing a weak spot. The Le Mans. That's wild.
Le Mans?
It's a 24-hour long race.
Oh, no.
And
like in a vehicle?
Yeah. You have like a team of like 3 people, 3 or 4 racers.
Oh, okay.
And it's 24 hours long. Whoever's in front after 24 hours wins.
Wow. That would have to be like...
And apparently the track is like super difficult too. On top of that.
I was going to say, I don't see how one racer could do that because, like, after, like, a 3 to 5 hour race in NASCAR, they, like, you burn, like, 3,000 calories and they're, like, so stressed. Like,
yeah, there's, like, several racers.
I got you.
That's what the movie Ford versus Ferrari, that's part of that movie. That's the only reason I know of it.
Oh, that's cool.
In that movie, it has good sound design. I've like the weirdest take on that movie. I really enjoy the sound design, like the car noises. I'm not a car person. I don't know if you got that from me not liking NASCAR. I'm like the only man in the entire world that like literally doesn't care. If the car gets me from point A to point B, cool. Yeah.
I respect it.
But like the just like the sound design in that, it's a real like theater movie. Like if it's not in theaters, it's like hard to appreciate it for how well it was in the theater, for like the nice Dolby sound behind like I don't know. If you ever watch that movie, make sure you have like a nice pair of headphones on, and like it still won't match like the theater experience, but like I don't know, you gotta like set up. I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't know. That's my only take on the movie. Like the story.
Or if your house has a
all right
solid surround sound. Yeah.
This like I don't know. The story's cool. I feel like if you're a car person, you'd like it. And yeah, I mean, it made me interested in something that I'm not interested in, kind of. So I guess it works. It has a 92% Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm not really making a hot take. 98% audience score. And yeah, but Drake, that is our time to Casual Podcast episode number 3. Next week we're gonna have Bengal on.
Woo!
If you want to support us, follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on you can follow us on Letterboxd. I made a Letterboxd account for this podcast where you can get sneak peeks to next week's pick on there, and there's a list on there that is every single movie ever mentioned on the podcast. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but it's something that I've been doing, and I don't know how long I'll do it. but it's like 60 something long, and 99% of them are mentioned by me. But there's like I don't know, like I just like did it, and it's like there's no real point to this. But whenever I'm editing, I like every time I mention movies mentioned, I like jot a little note and I add it to that list. So yeah, follow us on Letterboxd, follow us on Twitter. Give us a 5-star review in iTunes because it really helps out. We only have 1 5-star review on there. Yikes! I'm kidding. But yeah, that's the Too Casual Podcast. See ya.